After training of sportsmen and women, the We Want Our Sports Back initiative was back on the round table, this time with various sports federations.
The World Taekwondo Federation governing body has promised to sponsor trainers and officials on sports management. In turn, these trainers will come and educate the local coaches and the instructors.
Sponsorship has changed. It's no longer sponsorship, it's about partnership. If there are those of us who have handled sponsors, I'm sure we have, they will always ask you what's on the table. They are not going to give you money just because they have money to give or they have a budget. You have a budget and you want to connect your budget, so you want to close your budget, so you go to a company and you want money from them. They'll ask you, what value will my brand get? So this presentation I have is something that we presented to Safaricom, and it will give you a clear picture of how to go about connecting sponsorship.
In the next 5 years, that is 2014 to 2019, we are calling it the next 5 years for football is family. And you'll understand that families are the people who form the basic partners, that is the largest partners that we have. And when I'm talking about family, I'm talking about the children that come to the stadium, the young women, and that forms the bulk of the supporters, and that's where we want to be. And this can only be achieved if we make our sport more friendly to the families, so that we don't scare away the people who feed us.
Good governance and leadership are a very challenging issue, especially in Kenya. Leadership has been quite good. Leadership has been very invasive in this country at all levels. And also the issues of corporate governance are not normally very well respected. And that's why a lot of organizations collapse, because they don't follow a systematic way of leadership and a systematic way of making decisions, and therefore everybody sometimes makes the decisions and then you don't know who's right and who's wrong.
When you live here and you're structuring your constitutions according to the Constitution of Kenya, there is a very important thing that must come out, that we want to represent the face of Kenya, of Eastern Africa, of Africa, to the world.
The workshop was officially opened by the Cabinet Secretary in charge of sports, who, while pledging full support for the federations, was not mincing his words as far as accountability and transparency is concerned.
I'm saying the time for accountability has come. If you've been in a federation for 50 years and you're pushing out the young people, who are the ones who are your athletes, who are the ones who are your footballers, who are the ones playing your hockey and so on and so forth, it's time you make that democratic space. 70% of Kenyans plus are youthful. Where is their role in sports? Are they just the hustlers, as they say? Or are they the major players? Are they part of driving the legacy, driving this future? There are some sports which have stagnated because people are in positions for 30 years. We are coming slowly to you.
The participants engaged with the trainers on various aspects of management of sports off the field.
There's now going to be a court a body that is going to be led by a person of the status of a High Court judge. That's a great breakthrough, so that at least sports disputes can be given a sporting look, because they are totally different from the normal disputes elsewhere. But then our worry is that that one body, taking into account that, like you've heard even by our own admissions, there are so many disputes all over the place. That one body is going to be overloaded. Is there a possibility of this body expanding downwards and developing some lower tiers?
Look at the Act keynote. The jurisdiction of that tribunal is not very clear, in that, in a sense, it still leaves room for stakeholders to file their disputes before the normal courts. Yeah? It's not actually very clear whether it binds everybody, so long as you're a sports stakeholder, to ensure that your disputes are, in the first instance, referred to that tribunal.
In all the three bodies that are in the Constitution, there is a representation by a multi-sport disciplinary organization. And when we have in the lecture, I ask the lecturer, which body is this? Is it secondary school? Is it universities? Is it the Kenya National Sports Council? Which body is that? Because there's a representation from the government and all the others. But the last one is a multi-sport disciplinary body. And I keep asking, which body? And if we don't watch out, there will be a conflict there.
But I also just want to add on another concern about the county, because we have now counties.
Now, we know that all of you are very competent people, very experienced in sport, but not everybody can sit on those boards. So if 4 of you sit in one board and another 4 sit in another board, then you are already adequately represented. You will appreciate that that there are a lot of other stakeholders in sports as well, not just the federations. The federations are major stakeholders, yes. The government is a stakeholder. Corporate organizations are stakeholders. They are actually the ones who fund our programs and so on.
We as sports organizations, do we have a product? Do we have anything that we are selling? Do we understand our product? When we are telling them that we have a league, do we understand it? Is it sellable? That's one of the questions probably we can be grappling with. And also, do we have the capacity to write award-winning proposals that are quick, sharp, and to the point? Because you can imagine how many proposals Safaricom receives in a day.
You must plan your work in advance. You must give us your program in advance. It must be tallied in with our budget so that we plan early enough. Okay? And then if you don't get money, you rush to the newspaper. Oh, these people are stranded at Kasarani. The other one are stranded at this other airport. The other one are there, and then so does government. Federations get money from, if your football is FIFA, athletics, IAAF, and so on and so forth. Where do you take these monies? Tell us, be open, be accountable. Show us. Invite us to your rooms and say, this is what we got. Okay? Let's plan these things. Let's budget. You don't run your houses this way. Why do you want to run federations this way?
With the organizers pledging to continue supporting the initiative that is expected to spread its wings even further in the year 2014.
Many Kenyans tell me that they feel that their country could do better in sports. We believe that governance can unleash that potential, and this is true for sports federation as it is for the whole country. It's about deploying the full potential. Let me come back to the unusual coalition that is pulling this project. Why does that combination make sense? Governance in our conceptualization consists of 2 pillars: legitimacy and effectiveness. Now CMD has the expertise on how to build and how to sustain legitimacy. It's about free and fair elections, accountability. They are as crucial to the sports clubs in Kenya and the federations as they are to the country as a whole. When I ask Kenyans what is the main issue with sports in Kenya and with federations, they seem to hint that sometimes athletes are selected on other criteria than merit and talent. But obviously in sports that is going to be self-defeating. And I hope that, I wouldn't be doing much of a job as a diplomat if I would shy away from the sensitive issues. So I want to mention that here too. The other element of the governance is legitimacy, and this is obviously where Strathmore has the edge. How to build organizational capacity, how to set up a proper management and planning structure. Equally important. Finally, Sports International, they have the network of former top athletes, and any sports project could not work without athletes themselves. I would like to dedicate this project and this day in particular to Kenya's athletes of all sports, and I wish you every success.